You're listening to Screen of the Crime.
I'm Tess.
And I'm Maggie, and this is a podcast where we talk about true crime.
And what would happen if your favorite TV and movie characters committed those crimes? That went better.
Yeah.
We messed up the intro a few times because of some notifications, but we're back. We're good.
Yeah. I muted my laptop, so won't have that happening.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna remember the intro. Just so you know, I have typed out the very small line that I have to say the exact same every time, and I have yet been able to just say it alone. So.
I've memorized it because I'm just really cool.
Yeah. I mean, mine's kind of wordy, though.
Yeah, no, I definitely have the easier part.
Yeah. How are you?
Well, I'm on day 7, I think, of my Whole30 diet, and I'm upset because I really want, cheese. I saw a guy in the bus this morning eating a bagel, and I was just like, dude, get that out of my face. I want to eat it. So.
Yeah. I want to say, I haven't seen you, I literally just got home, and now we're recording, so I haven't, what did you do today? Anything?
Oh, yeah. Well, I went to class, as per usual. And then I wrote my notes for this podcast. Mm-hmm. And then I went to my second class. And then I bought some potatoes for dinner.
Oh, really? I got a bunch of vegetables just now.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
Yeah. And because I was wanted to make breakfast. And I think you can have it because it's all vegetables pretty much. But it would be like a breakfast skillet, but you could put an egg on it, but it would be a Whole30 thing.
Ooh.
I think, technically.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
I ate potatoes and I made a burger for dinner.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna meal prep later, as I'm studying.
I also cooked up a piece of chicken for Friday because I won't be able to have food here until Friday because I'm in school.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how it'd be.
Yeah.
My hands are currently still in pain. I started doing the rock climbing and it just is tearing up my poor hands.
Yeah, but you look cool and buff with your taped up hands.
I do.
I know. I gotta start rock climbing just to rip up my hands.
Yeah.
Way
it is kind of
I
don't know what women like. Softer hands or kind of the buff. But I think they're fans of both, so we're good.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's a good look on you.
Yeah, that's good.
Real butch.
True. Anyways, what case? You've described it minimally, but everything you've said is completely not what I've expected about this case, so introduce it.
I know. Okay, so this is about the Lobster Boy murder. And it sounds fun and alluring, but it's really not. I did this case because the new season of American Horror Stories come out, Apocalypse. Mm-hmm. I have yet to see it.
Me as well, and I can't wait. But if you don't understand what that means, in season 4 Freak Show, Evan Peters played a character who is based off of him.
Yes.
Yeah, because he had it's the fingers, right?
Yes, the fingers are melded together.
Yeah.
So Evan Peters played a very hot version of the Lobster Boy. And, according to my research, in the show, there's a scene when they're in a museum of oddities. There's an actual reference to Lobster Boy himself. So, this is in relation to that guy, Lobster Boy, also known as Grady Franklin Stiles Jr. Or Grady Stiles.
That's a long name.
Yeah. I mean, not really. It's,
Grady Franklin
Stiles
Oh, it's
Jr.
the junior. That's what got it.
I know.
Yeah.
He was born on June 26, 1937. As you've probably got by now, he was a freak show performer. He had ectrodactyly, probably pronounced that wrong, which means his fingers and toes were fused together to form claw-like hands, which made him look kind of like a lobster. If you Google a picture of him, I find it really, really creepy, and I don't like it.
I'm gonna do that.
Please do.
Real Lobster Boy. Oh, it came up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Alright.
He's pretty famous.
Huh. Interesting. That's not what I was expecting. He doesn't have a palm of his hand.
No, yeah, it's just purely a claw. It's if you put all your fingers together and you just had a thumb, and it's kind of
Yeah, it's actually his hand is split in half, kind of. Yeah. I would encourage you to Google it if you can.
Yeah.
But Because the Evan Peters ones, like, he still has his
Yeah, he
of
was
his
still
hands,
able to grip.
and his fingers are, like, abnormally long.
Yeah, Evan Peters more had, like, Spock-like hands, I believe.
Yeah. They were, like, well, not Spock, but, like, they were the live long and prosper.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't watch that show.
I don't either, but it's, like, you know.
Okay, but you got the reference, what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Alright. So, Grady's family had a long history of ectrodactyly. He was the 6th person in his family to have it. Grady's father was a sideshow attraction in a traveling circus, and when Grady was born, he was added to the act at a very young age. So he was the Lobster Boy. Even though how I'm going to talk about him, he will be an adult. He was, when he was a child, he was the Lobster Boy. Grady met a young woman named Mary Teresa. She had no defects, but they ran away together to the carnival at 19 and they fell in love. How romantic. Don't you think?
Yeah.
They had 4 children, 2 of which had ectrodactyly. Ectrodactyly? Yeah. Okay.
We'll go.
Yeah. Styles, or Grady, was an alcoholic and was abusive to his family. That's just how it be sometimes. He sucked. Grady and his 2 children toured together as the Lobster family. Isn't that sweet? Bunch of lobsters. So, here's where it turns bad. One night in 1973, Grady and Mary fought. He threw her to the ground and ripped her UID from her body with his bare hands.
Wait.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
Well, he was very strong in his arms because he couldn't walk because his toes were fused together.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he was in a wheelchair. So he did that thing where he kind of like pushed himself with his arms. So he's very, very buff. And I guess he just ripped it from her.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either. Like, I read it a bunch of times and I was like, no, this can't be. So, she promptly divorced him.
Mm-hmm.
Go women. He remarried, but his second wife also divorced him. So, when they weren't traveling, they stayed in Gibsontown, Florida. Go Florida! Shout out to the Gators.
Florida.
Well, yeah, in American Horror Story, they also stayed there, but they stayed in Florida for the winter time because you can't really be anywhere else because it's snowing.
True.
Go Florida. 80-degree winters. Anyway, the murders. Like I said, he couldn't walk because of his ectrodactyly. Mm-hmm. He often used a wheelchair, but he could also use his arms and hands to move. Because of that, his arms were buff. His strong arms and his bad temper and his alcoholism led to him being very dangerous.
As it would, yeah.
In 1988, in Pittsburgh, Grady shot his oldest daughter's fiancé. This is the murder.
This is the murder, okay.
The single murder. He only killed one person. He killed him on the eve of their wedding because Grady did not approve of him.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
That was it. He was just like, I don't want you marrying my daughter, and he just killed him.
Huh. I feel like this case, like, the only reason why it's known is, like, this doesn't seem like it would be a, like, very famous thing, besides the fact that it's, like, him.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only... Otherwise, I mean, not like it's, like, a normal thing to do, but, like, it's not really,
yeah,
like,
not
there's
everyone,
no mystery.
Yeah, not everyone that kills their daughter's fiancé is, like, known well. But he's only known well because he was a carny and he had the lobster boy arms. During the trial, he openly confessed to killing him and was convicted of third-degree murder. So I was talking about this with some people while I was in the studio the other day. And we decided that first-degree murder, that's when you, like, plan to kill someone. Mm-hmm. And second-degree murder is when you kill someone, but, like, you didn't plan it ahead of time. And third-degree murder is, like, when you accidentally kind of kill someone.
I thought third-degree murder was, like, you kill someone, but it's, like, an indirect way, but you still know of it. I think manslaughter is when it's accidental. Are you doing
I'm Googling it,
some Googling?
The hot googs.
Yeah.
What? Okay. It is homicide with malice afterthought. So...
That's first.
Second. That's third. Homicide with malice afterthought. What does third degree murder mean, please? This one says... Never mind. I don't know. It's not helping me. The Googles have failed me.
Oh, damn.
Anyway, so he was charged with third degree murder.
Yeah.
He did not have any jail time, though, because there was no prison equipped to deal with someone with ectrodactyly, so he got 15 years probation. So no jail time for killing someone and confessing to it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's probably, you know, like, what do you got? Probation?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he for sure suffers enough daily, I'm sure. And then also to have to deal with everyone. So, I mean, it's not, I'm sure he didn't get off easy, but, like, I don't know. He should have gone to jail, but, like, yeah, what would they have done?
That's true. So not going to prison made him cocky, and he told people that he could kill them and get away with it.
Oh, well.
He's not a nice person. I know that he's got a deformity, and it makes his life hard, but he's like an asshole.
Yeah.
He did stop drinking after the trial and everything. And during this time, he married his first wife, Mary. But he started drinking again, and this time he became even worse with his abuse. In 1992, Mary and her son from another marriage, the son's name was Harry Glen Newman Jr., hired a 17-year-old sideshow performer named Chris Wine to kill Grady for $1,500.
Damn.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
So, Wine killed Grady by shooting him in the head while he was watching TV in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wyatt went to court for the murder and was found guilty of second-degree murder.
Mm-hmm.
He was sentenced 27 years in prison. Mary was sentenced to prison for 12 years on conspiracy to commit murder. Mary said, quote, "My husband was going to kill my family. I believe that from the bottom of my heart." At least one of their children testified against Grady. It was their daughter. She testified against him, saying that he was abusive and would have probably killed them.
Yeah.
Grady's son, Grady Stiles Grady Stiles III, disputes the claims that Mary murdered him. According to him, Mary and his father were arguing. Mary had said, quote, "Something needs to be done." Mary's son had overheard this and went to Wyatt and told him that, and then Wyatt went to go kill Grady. Do you understand? I'll explain it. So, Grady's son, Grady Stiles III, said that Mary didn't put Wyatt up to killing her husband.
Yeah.
What happened was they were fighting, and she yelled, "Something needs to be done," like about this.
Yeah.
And Mary's son, Harry, had overheard this and went next door and told Wyatt that, like, his mother was fighting with the father, and then Wyatt took it upon himself to kill Grady.
Yeah.
That's about it. The Lobster Boy has been seen in a lot of media. There's a lot of documentaries on him. He was in American Horror Story.
Yeah.
And he just kind of became famous from, I guess, this murder. Huh. And he's dead now, so obviously he just got killed. But that's my case. The Lobster Boy murder.
Wow. Well, I have a twist for you.
Okay.
But the movie I said before that I was going to do, I switched it while you were talking.
Oh, no.
Because the case kind of went in a way that I didn't know it was going to go. Like, I didn't really know anything about this, so I kind of, and I like to be surprised. It kind of puts the edge, the fun. So I thought of a different thing that I think would fit. I mean, it's still, none of these things fit. But yeah. I think this one is a little bit more,
All right, lay it on me. What is it?
The Walking Dead.
Okay.
So, it doesn't really have that much to do with, like, the plot of The Walking Dead, like, with the zombies, but I think it can kind of tie into that a little bit.
Let me ask, have you seen The Walking Dead?
Yes,
Okay.
I haven't, I've watched religiously up to season 5.
Okay.
And then past that, I kind of didn't watch as much, but it's fine because the characters I'm talking about, are in those seasons.
All right.
Just a warning, this could be kind of a spoiler if you're, like, for some reason watching The Walking Dead.
I was going to say
just because the main character I'm talking about isn't on the show anymore.
How upsetting.
Yeah, it really, truly was. I have to say.
All right. So if you're watching The Walking Dead right now, you don't want any spoilers.
And, like, you're not past season, like, I think it's season 5 or something. But
Stop
at this
listening.
point, I'm sure you're okay. Okay. So, and you haven't seen The Walking Dead.
I have.
Oh.
I've seen up to around season 5.
Okay. Then you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Good. So I'm talking about Herschel and his family.
Oh, the farm. Like
farm.
Maggie.
Yeah.
I love Maggie.
Yeah. I would say Maggie, who is Herschel's daughter. So Herschel has 2 daughters, Beth and Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
And Maggie gets together with Glen.
My boy, I love Glen so much.
Yeah. I haven't, like, discussed The Walking Dead in so long, so this is going to be really strange.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it seems like such an old show now.
Yeah, I watched it with my family, and we haven't, like, watched movies together for, like, 2 years.
Same.
So.
Anyways, so I think instead of, like, making Herschel just a lobster, I'm going to bend the rules of the Walking Dead universe a little bit.
Okay.
So, the zombie thing, it happens. And, like, you watch the show, like, you know that Herschel gets bit by a zombie and then, like, has to cut his own leg off.
Yes.
Or he doesn't do it himself, but, like, people cut his leg off.
does get cut off. Yeah.
It's, like, a very dramatic thing. But I'm gonna, for the sake of the story, I'm gonna bend the rules of the way the zombie thing works a little bit.
Okay.
So, it kind of, like, let's say, like, you get bit and it's not bad. Like, it kind of makes you go crazy a little bit.
All right.
And, like, you slowly become, like, a zombie instead of, like, the immediate, like, sort of, you know, death that happens.
All right.
Because that would explain, like, why Herschel would do something like murder people.
That's true.
Because he is not like that at all.
Herschel is a sweet old man.
Yeah.
As far as I remember.
Oh, yeah, completely. Yeah. So, same situation. Like, they're out, at this point, they're out, they find a prison, and they're kind of, like, trying to get it secure so they can live in there, because, like, a prison's such an ideal place, because there's fencing, there's, like, cells. If there's people who are sick, you can quarantine them in, like, cell blocks. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to get the prison, and they're kind of, like, just, you know, getting around trying to do it, and there's a group of them in there, and Herschel gets bit. And in the show, they cut his leg off. In this situation, for the sake of this, they don't cut his leg off.
Okay.
He gets bit, like, somewhere else or something. So, but they know he's slowly going to get, like, crazier and crazier. So it's like, what do? And at the same time, around this time in the show, I think Glen and Maggie are getting together.
They had gotten together back at the farm because they had sex in the pharmacy. Because he was getting the pills for Rick's wife.
Yeah.
But Maggie asked what he was doing, and he grabbed, I think, like, the condoms or something.
Yeah.
And then they just had
You're
sex.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would say, I remember more of, like, once they're in the prison. I don't remember that. I didn't know they got together that far back. That's wild.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, Herschel, I think, from what I remember, I don't think he has a problem with Glen.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, no, he's fine. So, like, no one would expect this coming. But they're all, like, armed. They all easily could turn on each other, so it kind of is, like, you know.
Yeah.
Something could happen. So, they're at the prison.
Okay.
Trying to secure it. And Herschel is bit. Everyone's kind of monitoring him. Like, they don't think he's that crazy yet.
Okay.
And Maggie and Glen walking around, doing their thing.
Being in love. Let me just tell you about Maggie and Glen. I love them so much. Like, I didn't love Maggie because we're in the same name club, and I'm kind of angry about people that share the same name as me. But they're so cute together. I just wanted to say that. Best part.
Yeah.
So?
So. Yeah. The Walking Dead is just a wild show, man. I don't even know. But yeah, Maggie and Glenn, they're being cute. Although I have to say, the only thing I didn't like about The Walking Dead was the weird. Like, I genuinely don't think that, like, the things that would happen on there would happen. Like, the people getting together, like, people getting pregnant.
Oh my god, if you're in a zombie apocalypse, do not get pregnant. I mean, like, let me tell you, I forgot Rick's wife's name. It was like Lauren, I forgot her name. But can I just say, like, she had the choice to give that birth to that baby into an apocalypse, and she died because of it. And it's like, what are they doing with the baby? It cries. She just put them all in danger, and her own son had to kill her. Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think, again, I don't know, I'm not that knowledgeable on how to prevent pregnancy. Besides, like, the obvious
for
things.
starters, you don't have unprotected sex with Rick's best friend. That's what you don't do.
I know.
Sorry.
But, like, besides, like, obviously, but, like, it just seems, like, the whole it just is so annoying to me. Like, every time, I think if it wasn't there in the show, I would have been like, this show's boring. But, like, in reality, it's just, like, if you're watching it with, like, that kind of, like, CinemaSins kind of mindset, you're like, none of this should be happening.
Yeah, what bothers me about the show, and I don't know if Rick's character changes because I haven't watched a lot of the later seasons, but Rick is always like, we're good people, we can't kill anyone. And in the Governor season, it's just like, just kill them, you know?
Oh, I don't think that they would have not killed the governor, for sure.
They would have not?
Like, I think at a certain point, they're like, yeah, we're gonna kill you.
Yeah, I know. But, like, throughout all of it, like, even with the cannibals and everything.
Yeah.
Rick's always just, they killed, like, everyone. But, like, Rick's always just like, we shouldn't hurt people. And it's like, dude.
He's like, you know.
He's like the moral compass.
Yeah.
And he's gotta be. But it's still, it kind of angers me. It's like in action movies when the protagonist is holding a gun to the villain. And the villain's like, you won't kill me, you're too good. And the protagonist doesn't. And it's like, you should have.
Yeah. I guess the Batman franchise, like, Batman doesn't kill people.
That's true.
To my knowledge. At least, like, in the, like, you know, classic, like, that's his thing. Like, in The Dark Knight, like...
I haven't seen that movie. I'm not a fan of Batman.
Okay.
Gotta say it.
Not to... I'll get back to my thing soon, but just a quick tangent about The Dark Knight. It's really good. It's really, really good.
My family went to go see it without me.
Yeah.
That's
they shot it in Chicago, and, like, all the... Because I think... Like, all the Batman movies are shot in Chicago, so, like, it's kind of, like, funny, like, because all the superhero movies are always New York, so it's, like, it's always, like, New York skyline, like, you see, like, the Avengers is photoshopped in New York, and it's,
that's true.
But it's, like, I think it's kind of, like, badass that, like, a really, really good trilogy of, like, but honestly, like, the best Batman movies, and it's, like, hell yeah.
Technically they're in Gotham, but...
I know, but, like...
Yeah, it's true. Nothing's ever shot in Florida, at least where I live. Like, there are things shot in Florida.
But, like, that's not like, oh...
It's like, oh, that's like, my town.
Yeah. It's the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. So, where was I? Okay, Glen and Maggie. They're getting together. They're been together. But I think they kind of aren't, like, official right away.
Yes.
They're kind of doing their thing. And, Herschel... Like, Glen does... get the approval from Herschel, because Herschel gives him a pocket watch at one point, and, like, it's all very, like...
I remember that.
You know. Mm-hmm. It's very symbolic and nice. And I think, like, I genuinely don't think Herschel would have killed Glen. Like, obviously he doesn't.
Herschel the person would not, but if he's possessed by a zombie...
Yeah, if he's getting possessed by a zombie, then, like, yeah. So, I think it would not unlike the murder itself. Like, it would kind of just be a spur of the moment thing. Like, Glen would be out, like, checking the gates like they have to, and then, like, Herschel would just come up and literally just, like, shotgun it.
Yeah, he'd just kill him.
Yeah.
And that's it. Bang, bang,
and
done.
that's it. But, like, they can't do anything. Like, they're in a prison, but they're not gonna, like, put them in prison. Because they know, like, what's happening. It just was kind of like it was maybe just happened faster than they anticipated.
Yeah, so they can't, in relation to the story, put him in jail, so he's on probation or whatever.
Yeah.
Here's my thought. Whereas the 17-year-old boy, I'm feeling Carl.
Yeah.
Maybe. What's your opinion on this?
Well, here, keep going a little bit. Keep going.
With Carl?
Yeah.
Well, because it was just like, because Carl had already killed his mother at this point, right?
Yeah.
And he was getting a little gun crazy, wasn't he? I can't really remember a lot.
A little, yeah. He was like because Carl's like on the verge of like being old enough to like actually help out.
Yeah.
So like he's kind of just like very like ready to go out and like patrol with everyone. So yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he takes it upon himself, for Maggie's sake, to kill Herschel. Because he's like, he's gonna kill again, isn't he? Because he's going crazy. Yeah. So might as well just end it.
True.
Yeah. Or he might hurt Beth. Because didn't Carl have a crush on Beth?
Yeah. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. Beth, oh my gosh, that was such a sad... Do you know what happened to Beth?
Yes, I do. I hated Beth for the longest time.
Really?
Because she, like, cried a lot, and she was, like, kind of annoying. And I'm not a big fan of, what's the crossbow guy? Daryl. I'm not a big fan of him, and it might just be his greasy hair. Oh. But, like, remember they were in, like, a cabin drinking moonshine or whatever?
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm tough, or something.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh my god, they're so cute together. And I just still hated Beth. And then, but after that, when she got all cool and stuff, and then eventually to her finale, I did start to like her.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, she's like, how old was she in this? She was like meant to be a teenager.
Yeah.
So, like, to be fair, I feel like it's not really fair to hate on that character, because it's like, listen.
That's true.
Like, the situation. I met Daryl, let me look up, what's his name? Norman Reedus, that's the actor's name. I met him at Comic-Con, at, like, Chicago Wizard World Comic-Con, and there's a picture of me, and then him, and then, Shane. Let me look up that actor's name. Oh damn, it's, like, far back on the IMDb, because it's been so long. John, Bernthal.
The guy who plays Punisher?
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, him and then Norman Reedus were at the Chicago Comic-Con. And I waited in line to get a picture, because it was, like, at the peak of, like, when I watched the show. So, yeah.
That's fun.
But there's a picture of me, like, wearing a Star Wars t-shirt, looking super awkward, because I was in, like, 7th grade.
Wow, what a nerd.
It's really horrible.
Yeah. Fun fact, I am a month older than Chandler Riggs, who plays Carl.
Really?
Only a month. Yeah, he was born June 27th, 1999.
Oh, I'm older.
Yeah, you're older than him, but, like, we are very similar in age, and I had a crush on him, for some reason. It was, like, during the pudding episode, you know, when he ate all the pudding?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, Chandler Riggs is kind of cute, and we're only the same age, so... I was, like, in 6th grade, because he was going to his, like, first year of high school, and I was like, me too, Chandler.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up a picture of him from, like, this year to see if he's...
Well, I'm looking at it, it's not making me happy.
He's kind of... Like, he's not ugly, but he's, like, kind of just very... average looking.
He truly is. He's got really long hair. It's kind of upsetting.
Yeah. Not in the pictures I'm looking at.
In some pictures, I'm not sure which are which.
Well,
still think he's better looking than Norman Reedus. I'm sorry.
True.
Norman, if you're listening, I'm so sorry.
Sorry that we don't like greasy hair.
Yeah, take a shower. Everyone else does, apparently.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, Carl would avenge Glen.
Yes.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, like, Glen, I think, is, like, just a genuinely, like, was liked by the group in all ways. Like, he never was one to cause trouble. So,
from
like,
episode 1, he's like, I'm just a pizza delivery boy.
Yeah.
He's never done anything wrong in his pure life.
Yeah. So.
I love Glen.
Yeah. I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, I mean, it's not, like, it's funny because you hear, like, Lobster Boy and you're like, oh, this has gotta be a juicy case. And then it's
and
like...
it's not.
And it's, like, such, like, a not crazy case at all.
It's quite lame. When I first was gonna do it, I literally have it as Lobster Boy murders, and I was like, oh, he's gonna kill so many people.
Yeah.
Because last podcast on the left did a case on this, and I swear I remember so much more happening, but he only killed one person. He was just a shitty guy. That's it. Yeah, but apparently a lot of freak show performers were. So he's not even special. Sucks to suck, Grady Styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah. And then there you have it. Walking Dead takes place in Georgia. That's close to Florida, kind of.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it borders it, but
the murder took place in Pittsburgh.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah. No, they just lived in Florida for the winters, but he killed the man in Pittsburgh.
Ah.
Which, fun fact, is where my brother's moving. It all relates.
It all relates. Yeah.
Oh, I have some good news.
What?
I finally registered my debit card as missing. So now I'm getting a new one. It's been 6 months. No money's been stolen.
That's...
The woman on the phone was very, very nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
At least you have that.
Speaking of money, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can support us. We are Screen of the Crime. And if you give us $1, you can get a shout out at the end of the episode. And if you give us $10, you can choose a case we talk about or a movie/TV show.
Yeah. Pick your entertainment.
You can follow us on social medias. That includes Instagram and Twitter at Screen of the Crime. And if you want to email us with any suggestions, you can email us at screenofthecrimepodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
Thanks for listening.